Welcome to Between the Poles, the podcast where we dive deep into the heart of the pole community. I'm your host, Caroline. Here, it's not just about the tricks and the spin, it's about the stories, the people, and the connection that make our community so special. Every episode, we sit down with pole artists, studio owners, and inspiring members of the community to talk about their journeys, challenges, and passions. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's get real. This is Between the Poles. Hi, Encollowen. Welcome to Between the Poles.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you on. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for viewers and our listeners to get to know somebody better. And I hope some of them already follow you and know about you. But if not, this is your chance to know a little bit better about Encollowen.
Yeah.
Let's have our little virtual cheers, our little coffee cups here.
Cheers.
What are you
I'm
drinking
drinking
today?
coffee.
All right. And then I'm here this morning with our little matcha. Encollowen and I are in different time zones. So it's bright and early here for me, and it's early evening for her. And then, I want to kind of jump right into it. I always start the podcast with asking our guests, how did you start your pole journey? Where did that begin? And tell us a little bit more about like your background and all those things.
My background, yes. I'm started pole dancing in 2019 now, and really completely by chance. In fact, a new studio was opening in town, and after years of practicing fitness and indoor cycling, bike, in fact, I wanted to try something more creative and artistic, in fact. And after my third class, I was already hooked. Really loved at the first sight, a crush. Even so, I have a certain fear of heights, and I was very, very afraid of being upside down, in fact. But it's really better now. So I stayed a year of, and due to schedule changes, when I moved up to the next level, I started practicing pole only at home, really only at home. And in fact, I have twins, and it was really too challenging for me to balance between work, school, activities, and my other hobbies. I like CrossFit, I like weightlifting, and it takes a lot of time. So, I've been practicing pole almost exclusively at home for five years now, and except for a few workshops at Full Moon Studio with Charlotte Dardenne, or at Vice by V School with my other friends, Victoria Tennis, in Brussels. They are both amazing pole dancers and really beautiful soul, really sunshine, really shiny personality, and a friend of mine. I need to add that is both by choice and out of necessity, because with time I developed an allergy to whip products, which can be a bit restrictive for other girls in a studio. I can't imagine come and say, "Hey girls, drop the grip," and etc. So I prefer to stay in my little bubble and control my environment by myself. Especially with Instagram, you never feel really alone, in fact. And I like the idea that all the pole community are my pole sisters, in fact.
Amazing. You said that you found pole completely by chance. What do you mean? Did you just kind of Google like sports activity close to me? Like, how did you find pole?
In fact, I just see in town a panel with soon a new pole dance studio. And I say, hey, good idea. I need to try that. And I'm a very curious person and very enthusiastic. I think it's it's relevant, but I'm a very enthusiastic person. And I never tried that kind of exercise. So well, that was for me.
You said that you already did CrossFit and idle biking.
Mm.
Were you from the start able to hold your body weight?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Because you did CrossFit and spin or bike. When you tried pull for the first time, could you already lift your whole body weight?
Um, Not really, because the technique was very different. And my strong point in CrossFit was uh, push up and not this kind of exercise, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to learn a brand new way to support my own body, if you know what I mean.
Yep, absolutely. Um, and then what hooked you to pole? What did you find was attractive?
I think I love pole because every day is different. It's like CrossFit, in fact. So every day is different, and I have an endless source of inspiration with Instagram. So if I want a more fitness-oriented workout, I can find challenging tricks to try it. If I want to reconnect with myself, I'll focus on flow. If I want to dance, I can learn choreographies. In fact, it's never boring. There are an infinity of possibilities. That's really the aspect I love in pole dance and in CrossFit. And more of them, the way I pole, so with Instagram, with the social media, etc. It's a true exchange. So your work might inspire someone to come up with a new combo or a new transition. You might give someone the right tip to nail a trick, and in return, they'll help you. You unlock something else. It's really this dynamic, this sense of community that I love, and it enriches me so much in discipline. And I think on top of that is very how to say, well rounded, because it requires strength to be strong for some moves, and flexibility for others, which means you add extra exercise to improve it, and so on and so on. And in fact, it's when you succeed something, it's incredibly rewarding, and it's a point that I can't find in other sports, I think. So really, like the community, the reward, and the fact that it's never boring.
For the same thing. And I'm not sure about you, but depending on what I'm training, there's going to be a period in my life where I'm training a lot of power moves that require a lot of strength. And then at some point, I'm like, oh, I'm getting tired of that and my body's aching. And then I start practicing more flexibility move or more flow and to kind of put things together in different aspects. So I 100% would agree with that. And that's what kept me coming back to pole as well. From the start, were there kind of types of moves that just naturally flowed better for you or you had an easier time with?
What do you mean exactly?
Let's say when I started,
Yeah.
I lift body weight.
What?
So I naturally did a lot of grounded
Mm-hmm.
moves. And then when I was able to start lifting a little bit of my body weight, I feel like naturally I had really strong shoulders. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to rapid grips a lot. So I tend to practice a lot of butterflies and Aishas and handsprings and stuff like that. That kind of just naturally what my body enjoys a little more. And I really struggle with mobility work
Mm-hmm.
in my upper body. So anything with like really weird grips, I just tend to struggle a little more.
Mm-hmm. It was the same, but really the opposite in the same time. I was an extreme mobility in my shoulders, for example, and I work a lot of ballerina raise, for example, or back bend tricks, this kind of work. And I was pretty well guided by my coach at this time. And she said to me, well, maybe also train your weak point. And I was not agree with this point, but she was so right. In fact, she was so right. And I start to mix my training, and from this time, I always mix my session. So I try to include a part of flexibility trick, strength, strong trick, and a bit of flow when I'm in a good mood. But it's fun to hear what you say, because I can't flow all the time. I have a particular mood, a particular way or mindset. In fact, mindset to flow.
Okay.
I don't know if it's
And
relevant or is it? But yeah, I can't flow every day. But if I want to flow, I need to flow now.
okay.
Yep.
And see, I plan that way more. I can condition and work tricks anytime. But if I flow, I have to schedule it. I'll tell myself, okay, Friday I'm gonna flow, or
Really.
else I never get to it. So that's how I've been training. But that's what I like too, right? In pole, everybody trains differently. Everybody trains how it works for them. I also want to ask you, how would you describe your style? Like, do you tend to work more of your tricks? Do you tend to work more of your flow? And in either one of those, how would you describe your style?
Uh, my style, that's really a tough question. um, in fact, I'm not sure if I have this distinct style, because I enjoy exploring everything: static, spin, handstand, choreography, flow. But I think more generally, I'm pretty good at creating tutorials. So I need a perspective, a purpose, a goal. And so I like really slow and measured movements, which work and which fits pretty well for tutorials. So I also have a very methodical side. I like to offer, don't know, clean entry, clean exit, include a few safety reminders. If something doesn't work, I make sure to suggest plenty of other variation, other entries, other transition. It's a kind of pull on purpose. But I love that. I love to learn something. In fact, it's my job. So I'm art historian, and all my job is about making ancient cultures accessible to a broader audience. And for pole dance, is a bit the same. I liked the idea that I'm the make it easy for other people. I don't know if it's clear, but it's really the point. And in that way, aside from that, I try to stay authentic. So I'm not afraid to show my struggles and my difficulties when I face obstacles. And sometimes these difficulties, this mistake, these fails are more relevant than victories and the way you succeed the tricks in one go. So yes, is really taking part of an idea of community, and how I can learn, how I can make participate the other people to my pole dancing practice. In fact, really like an exchange and stuff.
And you,
So
as you say, like, oh, I like making content that's educational. And I, of course, like follow you on your page and I look at your tutorials. How did you get started on social media? Like, when did you post your first tutorial or first video? And like, what was that process?
in fact, uh, even today, I still wonder how I got to this point. In fact. But I think I may have a part of the answer. when I started training at home, I was looking for content to support my own practice, but I couldn't always find what I needed, and everything was too fast for the beginner I was back then. So I think I started creating the content I was missing myself. Slow and detailed tutorials, and in fact, people like this. Later, there were the pole challenges that I first participated and and then started organizing, and they allowed me to connect and bond with so many people. So I tried to stay active in that space. Even the challenge was over. And yes, a quick hello, a kind word, a tip, some encouragement. That's how I think my community builds and grew up in that way, precisely in exchange of tips and mutual encouragements, in fact.
I also wanted to ask you, how did you come up with your Instagram handle, like your name, Encollowen? Because that's not your everyday name, right?
No, 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 no. Um, I'm I'm Celine. It was a big secret some years ago, but yeah. So for the name Encollowen, and not Encollowen, as sometimes see it written, uh, I think it sounds like Halloween at some, but in fact, it's the one and only username I ever used online. So I have it since I was 16, I think, back when I started chatting on the internet. And I'm a huge fan of The Lord of the Rings and Eric Fantasy in general. And I simply entered my name and surname into Elvish name generator. And it gave me Encollowen Kelebelen, which means silver star in Sindarin, Elvish language. And I just type Encollowen because it sounds pretty good for me.
I love it. And see, I was one of those people who thought that it was Encoloween, thinking it was closer to Halloween than Encollowen. I love that. I love how we learned.
But I love Halloween. It's okay for me. It's okay.
And listen, as long as people are watching the tutorials and giving likes and comments, I guess it is what it is. I wanted to kind of touch on that a little more too. At the time that we're filming this podcast, you have over 7,500 tutorials or posts on your Instagram. How do you keep coming up with more things to post? What do you decide to post? Yeah, can you just tell us a bit more about
Yeah.
that?
I may be a bit hyperactive. So, in fact, even though I might come across a bit eccentric people, I'm extremely disciplined and organized. So for years, my own per sessions have been scheduled on my calendar, and I've stuck to them religiously. And that's, in fact, a lot of content. So in plus, I slowed down a bit in recent years because there was a time when I used to post 2 to 3 times a day. The variation, etc. And but the truth is, I'm a big enthusiast. I'm a true passionate soul, and I'm interested in everything. I always want to try everything, and my to-do list is always full. Yes, that's just how am I say. I love create variation, and when you try to open a trick or a transition or a combo to the biggest group, you have to think that, oh yeah, but for some people who can invert, I'm going to create this kind of entry. Or but for people who don't like splits or etc., I'm going to try this not so flexible variation. And in fact, I had a lot and lot of content thanks to that. Second point, I work from home, which gives me the opportunity to organize my sessions however I want. So I make the most of it. So when I want to poll, I poll. A bit less no, because le surentraînement, overtraining. Yeah. Overtraining is really a plague to our discipline, I think, because we are here with much love and enthusiasm. And in fact, it's complicated to say stop. It's complicated for me to say stop.
I overtrain a lot as well. And as a teacher, I tell my student all the time, you need to give your body some rest. You need to, and then I'm the worst because then I will teach, I will train myself on my days off. I want to go to class. I want to like condition myself. And then I kind of just look at the dates and I'm like, wow, I haven't had a day off for so long now. So completely agree with you that I feel in the whole world, a lot of us are so eager to learn, train.
Yes. We didn't take the time, in fact. And it's a bit sad because we don't plenty enjoy the journey. We are focused on goals and our purpose to be better and better. And we don't have to be better. In fact, it's controversial, but we don't have to be better. When I start to feeling myself more feminine, to experiment new things, etc. And in fact, I don't have to be better than now. Just enjoy and appreciate flow and this discipline.
How you train though. Because you say like, oh, you'll do a tutorial on a move, but then you're gonna do another tutorial on a different entry or a different exit or a different variation, which makes your body learn that move way better. And the fundamental of that is way easier. Because a lot of us, I feel, always are chasing the next big move. And then we learn kind of one entry to it or one exit out of it. And then that's how we're going to practice it forever because we're like already chasing off the next one. So I love that you really post a move and then post a different entry or even post it in a combo of some sort or an exit. And yeah, I think that's really, really well for your body as well. Not always chasing the next big thing, but practicing what you know and getting there differently, if that makes any sense.
In fact, I love the fact to understand a trick, to master it, not make it for the gram, not make it for the pic. It's absolutely nonsense for me. And I like to, yes, dance with this trick, maybe for 1 or 2 sessions, but I need to know how, why, and how to improve, how to I can use some different grip to have another shapes, another feelings. Yeah, but I think it's integral part of my personality too. I like go. En français, on dit aller jusqu'au bout des choses. Really
Go all
master.
the way.
Yeah.
Way for listeners out there, Encollowen and or Celine and I are both French, but we're French in different countries, so we don't speak the same French dialect. But if you hear us saying little words like that, it's just her and I helping each other out to make sense of this in English. So please be patient with us. We are doing our best in what is not our first language.
It's important. It's also an approach.
I also wanted to ask you a question because you say you don't do it for the gram and completely get that and love that. I do wonder though, because you have quite a large following. When did that start happening? Was it like all of a sudden, like you were posting for a while and then it took off? Or yeah, just how did that go?
No, it's what very, very slow, in fact. And more and more, but I can't remember a particular post or a thing I made or that really that was really viral or kind of it. No, it's really slow, but really constant. In fact, yes, yes.
Do you ever look if your posts are doing well or not, or you post it and however it goes, it goes?
I post. I post. But for my mental health, I don't know how to express that. Sometimes I hidden the likes or the sharings because I noticed that I was a bit uncomfortable, for example, to post handstands because I love handstands, but my community not at all. So I was a bit upset to find less comments or less likes with all the works I put on it, you know. So to be kind and to be to be benevolent with my own earth, I hidden the likes and the comments,
That
and it works very well, very well.
then I guess maybe that gives me the answer to what I was going to ask next. But how do you deal with online negative comments or anything like that?
When I was still a baby pole dancer, I used to go so upset, so upset. I found it so unnecessary, mean, and stupid, really. So I would write long posts to justify myself, explain, educate, but I eventually gave up, in fact. Those people don't want to have a conversation or understand. And they're often not even a part of the pole community. So I save my energy for the people who matter. In fact, I don't feel the trolls anymore. And in fact, it's just not worth it. Sometimes for fun, I reply with something very kind and sweet so I can say, "Oh, you seem so upset tonight. How was your day? Do you want to talk about it?" So it completely throws them off. But yeah, it's a lot of energy at anyway. So, but most of the time, I just let go because don't worth it. No.
Do you feel like if you answer them, they'll leave you alone after, or do you feel sometimes it gets worse?
It's really where when it's worse. The only time it happens, and I was very, very sad about that, it's a video with my children's. So I have two boys and two young boys in pole dance. That was pretty scandalous. And I tried to explain, I tried to justify, I tried nothing worse. So I decided to block, report, and suppress the comment because it was endless, in fact. And I do what I do because I'm fine with it, because I love it, because I want to add something of myself in this community. And if it makes me sad and uncomfortable, what's the point? What's the point? So I prefer to suppress, and I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
Oh, that's good. Do you feel like you're staying consistent on posting because you love pole, or do you love pole because you've kept so consistent? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people post and then they stop and they fall off the face of the earth, basically. You've kept really consistent with your online presence. Is it from your love of pole, or do you pull that much because you're like, I want to make tutorials and help people out, learn new things?
It's an excellent question. I never really think about that. It's it's a balance of the two, because I feel sometimes discouraged, and I feel a bit tired, and a bit it's painful. I don't I don't want to try this again. But there always one poor sister who comes with, oh, what do you think about that? Do you think I can do, or maybe try to find something? And in fact, it's relents me to the discipline. Uh, when I go too far, something pick me and take me to the center. So yes, I don't know the egg, the la poule ou l'œuf.
The egg or the chicken? I'm not sure for our English
Yeah,
listener and
I don't know.
viewer if this has any. And I'm gonna start on a side tangent here because I also translate French to English and then will repeat expressions. And then
Mhm.
some of my students are like, I have no idea what you're trying to say because
Yeah.
this makes sense in English. Basically, in French, the expression is la poule ou l'œuf, which means the chicken or the egg, meaning we're not sure which came first. So if you're listening or you're watching, please comment what expression you would use in English because
We need to know that.
I understand what Celine is saying, but maybe some of you aren't.
But well, it's a really good question. Yeah, a mix of two, I think. Yeah.
Fair enough. You said a little bit about it at the beginning, but you said that you're allergic to grip aid, and then you say, oh, sometimes, there's those days that's super difficult. There are those days where I feel like I'm not sticky, I have no grip. If you don't use any grip aid, how do you do it?
Extra warm up. Burpees on pole, squat on pole, and I have a really effective routine of lunges, etc. I warm up a lot, in fact. Yeah.
Do you
Um,
always use a stainless steel pole, or do you sometimes use, because there's some of those poles that are like grippy, like
no,
this.
no. I have the really classic chromatic pole in
Okay.
45. Yeah, no. But I think my skin is really hot, in fact, and I naturally grippy, you know. So it's maybe most difficult in summer, strangely, because I have a sweaty hands, and I need to wash my hand with cold water very frequently. But I don't really have a grip issue. It's more, don't use grip heads. It's more psychological helps for some tricky tricks. When I really stopped to use it, I was very afraid with tricks like cocoon on or Cupid, and all the tricks with a foot grip, because my foot are also very very sweaty. And in fact, it's more in my head than in my body. But it's a you only you can only experiment this if you stop to try to use it. But you can really all very well without grip heads.
Have you ever tried some of those sticky leggings? Not because anybody needs grip aid. I'm just so curious. You're the first person I speak to that just does not use any grip aid. So I'm just like, wow. Have you ever tried those?
Yes,
Or
yes.
when you're
In fact, I have one or two grippy leggings, but as my skin is very hot, I'm also very hot, and it's really too hot for me. So I like a long session to train, and stay 2 hours with this legging is mostly impossible for me. It's too hot for me. And the fabrics of the leggings is very particular. It's very how to say, stiff like that, and the sensation is it's super practical. It's super easy to make quick session, but for long session, not for me. Not for me.
fair enough.
Mm.
Um, what is your next goal? What's your next kind of thing you're working towards or anything like that?
I have a very unpopular opinion again about this. In fact, I don't really have a big goal or a trick I absolutely want to nail or a combo I desperately want to master. I just take things as they come, and if someone doesn't work, I try it again later. I know this goes completely against everything we're told about setting goals in sport to stay motivated, but it's very linked with the fact that I don't believe in motivation. So I stay disciplined. I enjoy the journey, but unless if I'm participating in a challenge or I have specific and punctual goal in the moment, but right now that's not the case. Um, I see so much beautiful things, so much beautiful tricks. I can choose, in fact. I'm overwhelmed by all these tricks, all these things, and I don't like one thing more than other. And I think my tastes as are maybe particular. So I like um, tricks than other people don't like it or really find it very ugly, etc. I like broken legs. I like some weird quirky shapes, etc. Yes, I don't especially like Janeiro as 100% of pole dancer. It's not a goal for me. Yes, I can admire it with other pole dancers, but for me, no, not much as other variation of Sears or other variation. Oh, Jenny, I love Jenny, but I think it's so underrated. All these basic tricks and all those variations. Yes, yes.
You train new moves. If you train from your house with no grip aid,
Mm-hmm.
no spots, how do you learn new moves? Are you not afraid to fall? Like, yeah.
Yes, maybe I'm not afraid. I don't try something if I'm not sure to be safe. So uh, I use some kind of parade. If I fall, I can make an emergency crucifix and don't fall off. But yes, even when I was training in my first years, the coach doesn't really believe in crash mat, for example. So we have the habit not to use the crash mats, and it's I don't know, maybe a story of self confidence or not burn the steps or take it slow. I don't know, but I never fell. Never injured myself at the pole, extra. But yes, I think I'm just really careful when I test something, and I try to contain my enthusiasm for a particular dangerous trick. But um, yes, one thing I never pull when I'm alone. So there is always one of my kids or my husband, etc. And I let the door unlocked in case of. But I just try to be careful, and I I think a lot about the trick. I try to
Visualize.
visualize the entry, the tricks, and the exits. I never tried a trick if I don't have the exit, for example. And just that, it's very, very important to take care of yourself, I think.
You said at the beginning that the schedule changed at the studio you were at, and that's why you started training at the house. Why did you never kind of go back after it? Like, so you almost exclusively train at the house. Do you do kind of a little mix or not really?
In fact, I think training at home suits me perfectly because I need a lot of time to think, to practice, and I don't really like to share my ball. I don't like to wait. I don't know. It's maybe a bit selfish, but I love to be in my own bubble with my music, and I love a lot metal music, and it's not the case of my poor sisters.
I'm gonna say
Um,
that metal music is the playlist I play the most here. I will say this though, if you're ever in Kamloops and you come to the studio here, I have a teacher that loves metal music, and then she'll put that for her flex class or warm up sometimes. And hey, we're jamming to it, but it is by no means the gender we listen to most.
yeah, but yes, I think I like the fact that I'm really in my safe place. In fact, in a good condition, and yes, it's a mindset. In fact, yeah.
All right. I want to take us to the last segment for today. We call it the last grip. These are just little more casual questions. You can give us a little explanation or you can just give us a word, and that is fine as well. We call it the last grip. Are you ready for it?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee, coffee all day, coffee every day, coffee every time.
Do you have a favorite song to dance to right now?
I really love Deftones from now, and especially the song Digital Bass.
Okay. I'll
It's
listen to
really
it. I
a
think
good
I know
song. Yeah.
it. Love whole outfit or accessory?
So hard. I have so many tweets. 87 last time I counted. It's a shame. Yeah. But if I need to choose, I love garters and a classic black high-waisted bottom.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
I love that too. Heels or barefoot?
Barefoot. Unless I feel like being scandalous.
One word to describe your relationship with pool.
Patient.
Okay, that's actually a really good one.
Yeah.
Spinner static.
I think for now.
Okay. Choreo or tricks?
Tricks. I'm terrible in. I love that, but I'm really terrible in choreo.
Morning practice or evening practice?
Morning. I'm really a morning person, and in fact, the evening is booked for my family. The evening for me is family time. It's not sport.
Love or hate conditioning?
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Can you tell us two or three of your favorite pullers or pullers that you follow, pullers that we should be looking at?
So I really love Giselle Pollard because she inspires me a lot with her challenge, etc. In the same mood, I love Jenny Sittle, who runs the Paul Instructions account. It's very tricks and tips, etc. And also in a completely different style, Paul Seoul. It's very much flowy, spinning, and it's really a fairy on pole, really.
I'll have to look it out. I do follow the other two accounts, but I didn't know that one. So that's why I asked.
Mhm.
Your nemesis move or the move you really don't enjoy.
Yogini, Yogini 3 times. I ate this trick, and
What? You're guinea
oh,
too.
yeah. I can understand. I can. It's
Also,
painful, it's ugly. I don't know.
and I was having this conversation the other time with a student because, of course, I'll show it or whatever because maybe other people love it, right? I hate it. But I
Mm.
feel for the amount of pain that it causes me, for what it looks like in my head, I'm like, it's not worth it. I won't commit. And you were talking about Janero. I will commit to a Janero because it looks gorgeous in my mind, right?
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, yogini, it's don't wash it. Really. It's really and even on the floor, it's terrible on me. I can understand. It's really not for me.
Do all that one. All right. If you hate Yogini, tell us a move that you love.
My signature move is of course the seers, but I love all the backbends moves, cocoon moves. I love breast monkeys and elbow grip.
Can you just let us know how can we support you? Where can we find you? Give us all of the details.
So you can follow me on Instagram. You can read me because it's really important for me to be read more than be seen, in fact. I love writing. It's part of my job, and I take care to be inspiring, I can say it. And yes, it's very important to me to be read and come chat in the comments. That's what I love most about social media, so connecting and sharing, really.
And then I'm going to put your Instagram handle in the caption of our video on Spotify and on YouTube. And make sure you go and give Celine a follow. And that, yeah, you like and you comment. Like, don't just watch it, support it, you know?
Yeah.
All right. And then that's it for today. Thank you so much for being a guest on Between the Poles. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening.
I was so stressed at the beginning, and in fact, it was like chatting with a friend. So I love that. Thank you so
I
much.
love that so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to Between the Poles. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Stay connected with us on social media, and we'll see you next time right here, Between the Poles.